The law of deliberate creation is one of the operating laws on the laws of the universe, and there are many of them. The ultimate operating law is the law of vibration, and I'm not going to get into all in depth on every single piece of them, but there's one piece that I'm going to talk to you about today, live from Florida, that I know for a fact can control your day just like this. At least it initiates the right behavior, and I'm ready for you, and I hope you are. This is the ME Show. Let's go.
I've been caught up since the day that we met, and you haven't seen the best of me yet. There's nothing like you and me together, and your eyes have been so hard to forget. But there's something you're trying to hide. There's something you're keeping inside. I'm trying to get to know you much better. It don't matter how much time it I just can't give up. Whoa, I just can't give up. Can't give up. I just can't give up. I just can't give up.
How can one person say a word and create magic with it, and another person say a word and ruin their whole day? This is what the law of deliberate creation is. See, you have infinite passionate possibilities. You have infinite faculties that you are equipped by, that with a single word out of your mouth, you can decide on how your actual day is going to go. Now, I'm a pure example of that. I've been through the highs of highs and the lows of lows, and I never really understood why. And the world that we live in operates on motion, energy in motion, emotion. And that motion states that if we are not moving forward, we're moving backwards. And it is 100% based on the operating system that is initiated by the words that are coming out of your mouth. I'll give you an example. You ever said, man, I always get caught in this traffic light? And you always get caught in that traffic light. Oh, here comes that school bus again. It's going to slow me down to my way. Man, there's always traffic on this road. Oh my goodness, I'm so worried. This bill always comes in the wrong time of the month. See, that is deliberate creation. It's not so much that there's some voodoo magic formula. It's the fact that you are directing the focus of your life, of your attention, of your time, space, reality to that one thing that you are talking about. Just like when you say, oh my goodness, I was just talking about you 2 seconds ago, and then they call you or they operate within you. So how can you use the law of deliberate creation? You just have to want the thing that you really want, but you really got to want it in a way that you're focused on it. Not just saying, I want to be a millionaire. Yeah, that's cute, but you have to think about why you want to be a millionaire, how you're planning on getting a millionaire, where are you right now on your journey to becoming a millionaire. And then once you really, really, really want it, your system starts to operate and looking for different ways, tools, processes, people around you to create the guaranteed path to becoming a millionaire. It is 100% planning and execution. So next time a word comes out of your mouth, tell yourself, whatever I just said, I'm going to create it. So if you say, man, I'm having such a bad day, money is hard, everything is going crazy, rich people are getting richer and poor are getting poorer, I'm a poor me, everything is going wrong. By default, you created that very same reality. It's just coming on a delayed space. It may be an hour later, it may be a week later, it may be a month later, but no matter what, it will happen. Want me to prove it to you? How can a kid from Morocco come to the United States within 19 years, learn 5 international languages, build businesses across the globe, have the ability to recreate himself in different spaces, in different elements, in different industries, and no matter how hard he got hit, he always prevailed. He always made it to the top. It's because I said, as I've been telling the great people that are around me right here, right now, I'm in the capital of the ninjas, baby. We are in Miami, Florida, well, Fort Lauderdale specifically right now, but we have an event that we're launching. Is going to be amazing. But the bottom line, the story that you have to understand and identify is I always told myself what I'm anticipating and expecting to happen. And it's not that I'm a hypnotist that I can hypnotize the world. I have created an element within me called excitement, enthusiasm. The word enthusiasm means enthuse, which is the God, yasm within. Now, it doesn't mean that arrogant statements some people unfortunately mislead and they say, oh, I'm God. No, 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 no. We are the extension of the creator. We were created in the image of God. We are created out of energy, the Big Bang. So whether you want to go from a theology standpoint or a scientist standpoint, we are created, connected in a simple way right back to source. And by that, by default, we are given the gifts that we have that we can create. We are the only species on this whole entire world that have the faculties, the abilities to create. We can plant a seed and turn it into a tree. We can take an idea and turn it into a computer, a car, a plane. There is no impossibilities within our body, our system. And how is that operating? Your inner voice, your spirit, your soul, your non-physical being, however you want to refer to it, it is a 100% real faculty, a real being that you have from within. That's your software. So if your software has the right commands in it of what I want, the software sends the signals through your brain to the hardware. The hardware gets up and starts walking right towards that thing that you want. Just like when you say, I'm really hungry. You get up and you go to the fridge because the software sent a signal to the hardware. Now, that concept of I'm hungry and I'm going to get up, that's something that you feel, hunger, right? You know, and you can be aware of it. Now, how can you control deliberate creation? Not necessarily control it because you can't, but what you can do is influence it. And that is 100% through your thoughts. Anything that you are thinking about is 100% the initiation of the creation process. Now, you can't control, you can't monitor your thoughts. You'll go crazy. But what you can do is deliberately and intentionally create a new thinking process. I want to have an amazing day. As simple as that. Now, by default, I sent the command through my software, through my hardware. Now I'm smiling and looking for any opportunity to be happy. When I hear somebody complain, I'm like, dude, it's a good day. Relax. I deliberately made a decision to create a good day. Now you do that and have fun with it. Now you do that with, I want to make a sale. Small. Don't say, I want to go and build a plane right as your very first command. I want to make a sale. Now, your mind sends that signal. Your body is now intentionally going and prospecting. And when you say, man, I'm not going to sleep until I get this sale, you are working extra hard. You are motivated and excited. Your mind, spirit, soul, physics, everything that you are is moving towards that sale. And then you make the sale. And then you say, thoughts become things. Of course they have, but it is through your physical being that has listened to your non-physical being. Moral of the story, watch what you're putting in your mind. Watch what you're listening to. Watch who you're keeping around because they are 100% impacting your thinking process. Therefore, your deliberate creation is always going to take place, whether it's good creation or bad creation. It's not like you can do it or not do it. It's done with or without you. It's just a matter, are you intentionally and in an aware fashion creating good thoughts that are going to lead to good results? I lived with that. You're talking to a kid who was in the streets for 3 years. You're talking to a kid who was dead broke. Let me tell you a story. This is a real story. I remember vividly, broke as a joke. Nothing in my bank account. Credit cards maxed out. And this is a couple of years ago. And I lost everything. It was like a second company that I was building massively all around the world. And then they got shut down. And literally all the money stopped. And I was very, very bad when it comes to money. I make it, I spend it right away. And I had an opportunity to go and meet with a company CEO that was going to give me a consultation gig. And I remember getting in a plane. I probably had like $30 in my checking account, literally. And I had to be in that location for like 3 to 4 days. So my head, I need hotel. And if they're covering my hotel, I need like $50 to $100 a night for incidentals for the hotel to allow me in the room. And I'm thinking to myself, I need like Uber or a cab from and to the hotel. And I'm thinking all these different things. And then I go, it's going to work out. I'm going to get in this plane and it's going to work out. With $30 in my pocket, I was going to like West Coast, California, or whatever it was. Literally nothing. And I'm like, I'm coming back with money in my pocket. And I got in that plane and man, I'm like, I'm only going to eat. I had snack bars in my backpack. I had peanuts. I had a bottle of water. I'm like, that's all I'm going to eat. And I got in that plane and then I get down and guess what? I text the person that I'm meeting, like, hey, let me come pick you up. I'm like, okay, cool. Thank God. I don't have to spend money on Uber that I don't have. So I still have $34 in my name at this point. I get in the car, it's like, hey, you want to eat? I'm like, I had some snack bars, AKA I'm dead broke. I can't afford to go to a restaurant. Like, come on, man, let me treat you. I'm like, okay, cool. Sure, if you like. Then they take me to a restaurant and they treat me like a king. They feed me and I'm like, I ate enough for the rest of the day. I don't even got to eat if I go all the way, right? Then I get to the hotel and the moment of truth. My heart is like beating, like they're going to ask me for my credit card and I don't have any money. And I'm going to be embarrassed in front of this person who's waiting to come and help me with my bag. And guess what goes into mind? I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. So I'm like shaking and I'm like, okay, just give me a second. What do you need? A license and my card, right? They're like, no, just your license because the room was booked for you and they left a MasterCard for incidentals. So you don't really have to put anything. And I'm like, oh my God. Not only I don't have to pay for the hotel room, not only I don't need to spend money on incidentals, not only I don't have to pay for breakfast, lunch, and dinner because it's included in the incidentals. I'm like, I just got to figure out how to get my butt back into the airport so I can get back home and I have $34 and that should do it for me if that's the last thing that I'm going to spend. Now, here's the thing. I got a $10,000 contract per month out of that visit that I came back with as a deposit in my pocket. That was a couple of years ago. And not only the $34 did it, but what really happened? I put my focus and my attention onto I'm about to get in this plane, and by whatever highs or lows, I'm gonna make it back with money in my pocket. I'll never forget it. I called my wife and I'm like, "Hey, so I didn't tell you all the cards are maxed out, and I only had $34 in my pocket." She goes like, "Are you crazy? Like, so why'd you get in that plane? What if you?" I'm like, I don't know what I would have done, but I knew I needed to come back with money in our pocket, and I just got a $10,000 contract, and that was just one of the many that we've gotten. So the law of deliberate creation is always at work, whether you like it or not. It's just a matter, are you accepting and allowing greatness and blessings to come to you, or are you blocking them by putting your focus into what could not work? Because I could have very well said, I only have $34 in my pocket and come up with any kind of excuse or reason as to why I shouldn't get in that plane and call those people and say, I have an emergency. I can't make it. Can we just Zoom these meetings? And maybe they would have met and maybe it would have impacted me getting that contract. But because I believed that the higher power, God for me, got my back and I will make it no matter what, I came back with $10,000 in my pocket. Now that's my testimony on the deliberate creation. I hope you have been creating all day long because deliberate for me is delicious. I love to create all day, every day. That's my story, and I'm going to stick to it. I love you and I appreciate you. And until next time from Florida, peace out, everybody.